My name is Anna, and today's class is going to be a brief floor-based hip mobility practice. So you should not need any props today. I'm going to be using a blanket just for a little bit of cushioning under my knee, so you're welcome to join me in that if you like. But we're actually going to get started right away here in a low lunge. So go ahead and have your right foot forward. Your left knee will be on the floor. You can tuck your back toes under if that feels okay. You can also come on to the top of the foot, just depending on which one feels better. Now get your left hip directly over your knee. You can give this left glute a little tap so you start to feel some activation there. And then go ahead and bring your right hand over to your front left pelvic point. So right on the front of the pelvis here, you can place your right hand there and reach your left arm up. And now feel like as you lengthen your tailbone down, like you can almost resist that left glute forward slightly into the right hand. So we're just working to open up some space in the front of the thigh, which can be really helpful to do before we get into some big work for the glutes. This is Jasper. Nice. And then just bring the hands down and switch sides. Hey buddy, can I use this? So we'll have the left foot forward, the right knee's down, the toes can be tucked or untucked. And then just feel that the right hip is directly over the knee. You can give this right glute a little tap and just start to feel that glute squeezing. Left hand comes to the front right pelvic point and the right arm can reach up. Tailbone is lengthening down, and then feel like you can slightly almost resist that right glute into the left hand. Reach up through the right fingers. And then go ahead and bring your hands down, and we're going to come all the way down onto your back here. Okay, buddy. There we go. All right. So on your back here, just feel your sacrum. So that is going to be right at the base of the spine where your spine joins, kind of meets your pelvis. So this bone right at the base of your spine, feel that heavy on the floor. And you want to imagine an evenness side to side, so we aren't maybe shifting to one side or the other. And now keep that feeling. Can place your fingers into your hip creases here. And go ahead and lift the right knee up over the hip, like you're deepening this right hip crease. Set the right foot down, and then switch sides. So left knee up, it's like you're deepening that crease with the left fingers, and set it down. Right knee lifts up, and down, and left knee lifts up, and down. Adding on to that, right knee will lift up. Keep that feeling of levelness down in the sacrum, and we'll just begin to rotate this right hip within the joint. So feel like you're rolling the thigh out. That's external rotation. As you roll it in, it's called internal rotation. Now hold it in external, so the thigh is rolling out, the foot is coming over toward the left. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And then you can just kind of guide this right thigh forward. We'll set the right foot back down on the floor. And then bring the left thigh up. You can have the fingers in the hip crease. And we'll just begin to roll the thigh in and out. External rotation and internal rotation. Hold it in external, so the thigh rolls out, the foot comes over toward the right. cross the ankle over the right thigh. You can just gently guide the left thigh forward. And then we'll replace the left foot back on the floor here. Now have your hands on your thighs and start to lengthen your tailbone forward toward your heels. And then keeping the hands where they are, feel like you can resist the glutes up toward your hands to lift your hips. So we're in a bridge here, and just notice that the glutes are strong and they're working and they're active. And you can always play around with the positioning of your feet if you need to walk them a little bit further away from you. If you have any stuff going on in your knees, you can just kind of play around and see what feels the best for you. And now let's walk the right foot in toward midline just a little bit here. Push into that right foot and really feel that right glute turn on. We're gonna not change anything in the pelvis here, but just lift the left knee up, right over the hip. Then you can take the right hand, place it on that left thigh, and do a little push and pull of the thigh into the hand and the hand against the thigh. And feel that right glute working even a little bit harder there. You can have the left hand on the floor to help with balance. Let's take 2 more breaths. This one's tough. I am feeling it a lot too. You are not alone. And then we'll step the left foot down. Oh, you can walk the left foot in toward midline a little bit. Push into the left foot. Really feel that left glute a lot. Lift the right knee up without changing in the pelvis. You can have the left hand pushing into the right thigh. So it's that push and pull. Feel how that helps the left glute work a little bit harder. Last couple of breaths. And then we'll set that right foot back down, holy moly. And then lower slowly, 1 vertebra down at a time. Awesome. So let's take the feet about mats width apart here. You can have the arms out in a goalpost if you like. And then we'll bring the knees over to the right. Feel like you can still push into the sole of the left foot. Feel a little bit of left glute work there, helping to open the front of that left thigh. Come back up through center. Same thing over to the left. Push into the sole of the right foot. Feel a little bit of that glute on the right side, kind of pushing forward. And then we'll just do 1 more each side there. We'll come back up through center. And then let's roll over onto your left side. And you can have your head on your left arm here, or you could place like a little block or pillow or something there. And bring your knees up in toward your belly, just a little bit here. And imagine that there was a wall behind you and that you were taking your spine and you were kind of pushing it up against the wall there. So we're staying in one straight line. We're hugging the belly in. Now go ahead and lift your right leg up, and we're just going to do a circle with this right hip. So we'll open it into external rotation, kind of circle it around, bring it into internal rotation, and back. And so we're just doing these little circles in the hip. And imagining that work happening within the joint there. And then let's switch directions. Seeing if we can keep everything else pretty steady there. Nice. And then set the right knee back down on top of the left. Roll over onto your right side. Make a little support for your head. Your knees can come up just a little bit. We'll lift that left leg up. We open it up through external. Circle it back around, moving a little bit internal. And you can always make that move smaller so that we're really isolating it up in the hip joint, keeping that feeling of your spine against an imaginary wall behind you. And then we'll switch directions here. And set that left knee down on top of the right. Let's go ahead and come around into a quadruped or a tabletop position. And set up your shoulders directly over your wrist and your hips directly over your knees. Feel your face and your throat lift up. And notice here how we aren't letting the pelvis collapse, but we're kind of like buckling these front pelvic points together in the front and feeling like you could balance something right on top of your sacrum, right there at the base of the spine. Now see if you can keep that feeling. We're gonna reach the right leg straight back. Feel how that right glute is going to help to lift the leg without collapsing in the belly. So hold the front pelvic points together, strong in the arms. Set the right knee down next to your left, and now we're going to take the left leg out to the left with the knee bent. Set the left knee back down. Right leg reaches back. Right knee comes down. Left leg out to the left. Really feel this right outer hip hugging in as well. Left knee down. Right leg back, left leg out. And you can make that left leg out to this side really, really small. 2 more times. Right leg back, knee down, left leg out to the left. 1 more time. Right leg back, knee comes down, left leg out to the left, and down. Awesome. 1 more side here. So we'll take the left leg, reach it back, lift it up, hold the belly up here. Left knee comes down, right knee pops out to the right, and bring it back down. Left leg behind you, and down. Right leg out to the right. Keep it going here. We've got 3 more rounds. And just notice the attention and the focus required to really isolate this within the hip joints without kind of moving the spine and the pelvis all around. Last time. Awesome. So here in your tabletop, we're just going to push back into like a little child's pose. Kind of push the floor away, send the hips back. You can come forward. This time, maybe sit back and take the hips over to the right a little bit. You'll feel a nice little pull there, hopefully. Come back through center. Push the hips straight back this time. Come forward. And then push back and take the hips over to the left a little bit. And come forward there. All right. So that was a quick hip mobility practice for you. If you have time, it's always nice. Lay on your back. Just kind of notice your breath there for a few moments. Or if you have to run right off to the next thing. Thank you for being here and practicing with me today, and we'll see you next time.